What's up, Yang Gang? Thanks for joining us for another Broke Folk Vote podcast. We'll get to that video in a minute. Stock banking. If you're stock banking, y'all, we need to probably cash in those stocks pretty soon.
Probably today. I would go ahead and set them to sell today, so that way you have time to get them transferred to your account and everything before the end of this quarter, which is the end of December.
We gotta have this money, y'all. If y'all can donate to the Yang campaign, do it. Y'all got a text bank, y'all got a phone bank. We gotta get this done, Yang Gang.
Get out there and talk to the masses.
Get off of Twitter.
Right. Get off of Twitter.
I'm telling you, Twitter's becoming toxic, y'all.
It is.
Y'all might want to avoid it just for a little bit.
And if you
see what happens.
just as I feel like most of the Yang Gang already knows this, but if you see a tweet, if it's something negative about Andrew Yang or his campaign, or if it's a Bernie or Trump supporter bashing Yang,
let it go.
Just let it go.
Just let it go.
The more you comment and retweet and talk about it, the more eyes you're putting on it. And that's not what we need, so just leave it alone. We don't need to defend him, just leave it alone.
Gang, stop interacting with that Johnson guy.
Yeah,
what a clown. He's just doing it for clicks. That's all he's doing it for. So stop interacting with him. Don't feed the beast.
Nope.
Gang, we love you. See you on the next one. What's up, Yang Gang? Welcome to another Broke Folk Vote podcast. I'm Russell Peterson, your host, and today we're going to talk to Michael Lowder. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did, Russell.
All right, because I'm from the country and we get a little mush mouth where I come from, so sometimes I don't pronounce stuff right.
No worries, you did it right. Most people don't.
All right, so why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're at and what you're doing, and give us a little bit of background on yourself.
Well, currently I'm up here in Des Moines, Iowa. I've got plans to go up here. But I come up from Florida because, man, I never thought I'd see anything like this in my lifetime. I hadn't voted in over 20 years because, one of them didn't go the way I wanted it to go, and it didn't seem like our government was being very honest with us, so I didn't really care after that point. I mean, I'm sure I'm not alone on that. And, well, I saw an opportunity to make a real difference in everyone's life, not just my own spirit, man.
So, and that's something that you touched on right there is that, and I see this all throughout the Yang Gang, is that it's not really about us. I mean, it is to a point, but it's not. It's about everybody else. It's about helping everybody on a grand scale.
Yes, man. It's not even the $1,000 a month. It's everything the man brings,
So when did you first hear about Andrew Yang?
February, the same week he came out on Joe Rogan. I happened to be on a Joe Rogan binge. Being his classical male with too much time on his hands, I was on YouTube. And ended up, after that podcast, it really, I'll be honest, my brain hadn't worked right in 10 years. I'd taken care of both my parents from the age of 25 on until they passed respectively. That happened. I felt like I had failed at the one thing I was supposed to do, take care of them. You know what I mean? My brain shut down, and I wasn't worth money for a good 10 plus years. And then I hear that podcast, and he explains the reasons why everything that happened, bad other than my own decisions, happened, and it all made sense, and something just clicked, man. And it's like, whoa. Within 2 hours, I actually donated for the first time ever to a political campaign so that I could be one of the first 60,000 that he needed to debate stage, because I knew if he took the stage, it'd be a wrap. Plain and simple. There's no
You're an old school Yang Ganger like I am. So you
got it. I've been watching you since you got started, man. For real. And I just, it took me a couple hours. I guess I'm lucky to digest everything that I'd heard on that podcast, because I've been in door-to-door sales for 20 plus years and other sales on top of that. So I could tell that the man was just being as genuine as humanly possible. And I knew it was coming from the right place. And everything he was saying was making way too much sense to be a bunch of bull. You know what I mean? I even did a little research just to be sure, but within 2 hours, man, it was, my mind was made up. I decided to go ahead and disengage and figure it out. It took me a few more months to get active. I didn't even get on Twitter until the last day of August. And, here I am now up here in Iowa. I've been here about 2.5 weeks. Sometimes I'm in my car being frugal. Sometimes I'm in an Airbnb avoiding the weather. But I felt like this is where I needed to be. And so far, so good. People up here are really, really easy to talk to. Man. They're looking for conversation for real change. And honestly, I've never had people so receptive to anything as me being up here talking about Andrew Yang.
Well, that's pretty incredible. Now, we know that Andrew is kicking off a bus tour in Iowa coming up in these next couple of weeks. And from what I understand, you're going to try to cover some of that, right?
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be here when it starts up at the Capitol building here in Des Moines in the next day or so. I believe was that Tuesday? Yeah. And I'm going to hit as many of the stops as I possibly can, stop and work when I need to refund myself. I was lucky to be able to bring my job with me. That and the Yang Gang seems to like to take care of me too, so I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to give them their investment worth. Wow, man. Even this right here is awesome, dude. Thank you.
So talk about how, for a moment, like how your life has changed, because you said that you went from taking care of your parents for the longest time, and now you're actually have taken it upon yourself to move to an early voting state, much like we have, as we're up here in New Hampshire, to move to an early voting state just to be able to talk to people because you realize how important this is. Talk about that importance for a moment.
Well, consider this. Imagine for the first life, and I'm 43 now, we all acquire these skills we've been using for survival all our adult lives. But now I just get to use these same skills for something I actually believe in, not just to feed myself. So it has been an amazing transformation for me. I got excited for the next day, not dreading going to work, okay? This forgive me, but humanity first set of values that he's put forward is something I'm willing to fight for, and I'm out here doing it. And I see so many standing the same thing, and it about brings tears to my eyes, man, for real. But yeah, man, so I get to wake up every day and go apply it over my life for something that I want to do, for something that I believe in, that I know can help everybody in America. And I've always wanted to help. My mama was a nurse for 30 years. I even graduated nursing school, and due to some of the things that happen in everyday life out here, I was allowed to test, but it took 3 months after I was out of school before they let me, and I just didn't pass it. So I had things to do. I had to take care of them, and I didn't get my Army solidified. So this is just really exciting. My life could have gone entirely different if those votes in 70 and 71 would have passed.
It's funny that you say that because, before my wife and I started this YouTube channel, our lives were like very depressing. We couldn't, it was taking all that we had. It's like no matter how much we made, we were still struggling, trying to just pay the bills and stuff. And we are not living Juanito, what's up, man?
Yeah, there's Juanito right there.
What's up, brother?
38 States is over on my left, brother. Come poke your head.
Wow. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
Says it's good to see you, brother.
What's up, y'all? That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man.
So to get back to the story, though, our lives were at such a point where, we didn't know what we were going to do. And then, I hear Andrew Yang talk on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's unpacking all this stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, man, I see it now. I see why everybody is struggling so much now. Because everybody around where I live is in the same situation that I'm in. And I'm talking about the entire population. Everybody I know is the broke folk vote. I mean, literally everybody I know. And I'm wondering, like, why are we all struggling? Why do I see my dad bust his ass his whole life, and like now he's got no money for retirement. He's got and he's worked hard. It's not about hard work. It's about the way the system's set up, and you wonder why all this is going on. And then all of a sudden you hear Andrew Yang, and it's like, oh, man, we've been doing this the whole time. Like, why would
I've been giving nothing but false choices.
You hear him, and it's like, okay, so let me get this right. If we get this guy is actually running for president, and if we could get this guy elected, we could eliminate all these problems that Americans are facing every freaking day. You could virtually eliminate them and eliminate poverty at the same time. You're telling me we can do this if we get this guy elected? Damn right, I'm on board. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, it has been excitement day after day because I see what could be. Before, I didn't have that. Before Andrew Yang, I didn't have that hope because I saw how the politics were in Washington. And we really, really was hoping that Trump was going to be that answer. We were hoping that Trump was going to go in there and bust some fucking heads and drain the swamp and do everything that he said he was going to do because we're so fed up in America with politics. So fed up.
Yeah, man.
Because ain't none of y'all motherfuckers there helping me and my friends down here at the bottom. None of y'all. And y'all have been in fucking Washington for 20, 30, 40 fucking years and you haven't done nothing yet. Get the hell out. Get out. And I can't stand it, man. And that's where we are in America with politics. And then Andrew Yang comes along and it's all of a sudden like, holy shit, we can actually do this. We institute democracy dollars. We can get rid of those bums in Washington. We can get rid of them.
It wouldn't even take a minute. It wouldn't even take a minute, man. I mean, I know that this isn't just about getting the man elected. We got some work that I'm not disillusioned. I'm not, thinking short term. I know we got a lot of work to do, but man, the fact that that can't be bought running for president, that doesn't happen. We've been living hand to mouth for how many decades, man? You know what I mean? Just for this opportunity alone, to have the opportunity to not only fix our own personal lives, but everybody's problems. Give everybody the things so they can fix their own problems the way they see fit. And for him to even realize we're smart enough to do that, oh, man. I tell you what, I got to meet him the first time like a week or so ago at Council Bluffs. And I couldn't even speak. All I got when I got myself. Man, I tell you. So, yeah, this is like a once in a lifetime chance. We're not going to get another chance at this, man. So we have to do it right. And the type of people he's attracting, we're all especially at this point in the game, you got to be pretty dang smart to see all his plans, digest them, and understand and see all that like we're seeing. You know what I mean? We've got some of the smartest and brightest and most moral people in this Yang gang. We're not going to, man. We're going to take this on through and past the finish line.
And it's crazy because it's not just, I always stress that the Yang Gang is made up of everybody, that we all came from a different camp before Andrew Yang because there wasn't an Andrew Yang camp. And I believe that the reason that we're all in the Yang Gang is because of this humanity first idea. This idea that, you know what, maybe we don't have to fight. Maybe we don't have to argue. Maybe we all can get along. Maybe we can all just try to advance this country in such a way that, you know what, we can all win and nobody actually has to lose. You know, and I know that seems like this utopian idea, but the fact of the matter is when you look at all of Andrew Yang's policies combined, they present this vision of what we could actually be as a society. You want to talk about a gold standard for the world to look at? I had never even heard of universal basic income or the freedom dividend or anything like that. And it was such a novel idea to me. And it's like, why are we not already doing this? Why?
Like he says, the first time you hear it, you're like, huh, what? But after you sit down and you actually analyze and you think about it and you see where it's going to go, you know, the extra, it's going to find all that money that the system's been missing from these different companies with the VAT included. Make sure that we redirect those resources where it counts instead of what we've been doing for however long. It's actually going to make a reach, you know what I mean? And you know, just the fact that we're going to be able to take control of our lives again and not just deal with what's handed to us, that's what I look forward to, man. That's what I really look forward to.
And you know what's amazing to me is I see these blue check marks on Twitter, and they're always talking shit, and they're all, you know, oh, Andrew Yang is pulling alt-right support, and this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you know what? There's a reason that Andrew Yang, he's not only pulling alt-right support, he's pulling far-left support, and he's pulling everybody in fucking between. You know why? Because everybody's fucking broke. Doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum. We're all fucking broke. And we all just want to do a little better, no matter what your belief system is. Like, throw out the belief systems for a moment. And, like, let's just look at everybody's economic status. And most of us are broke. It's like it doesn't, you know what? You're going to eliminate a lot of that hatred when you put money into people's hands, because all of a sudden we're all like, hey, you know what? Life looks a little bit better now. Maybe I don't have to be so angry anymore. Maybe I don't see my, you know, my path forward.
Housekeeping. Come back later. Sorry, man. Housekeeping was knocking.
Oh, it's all good. Make sure y'all leave them a tip.
I'll tell them to vote for Andrew Yang. That's a good tip.
That's for sure. Look, every place that we have to go to, anybody that cleans up, we always like leave them some kind of tip.
Oh, definitely.
Gang book and or something.
Like that my entire life. Anytime I'm going to a restaurant where I start out tipping at the bill. And you know what I mean? If I can, unless it's like a really big bill, you know what I mean? And that ends up at least half the bill. You know, I have people that clean for you or take care of you like that, and especially the way the system does them, pays them the least amount out of everybody. That's ridiculous.
Well, you got to think the average for a server is $2.13 an hour.
I mean,
really. The fact that they can even get away with that is just beyond me, but it's incredible, you know, and people in the service industry, these are the exact people that we need to be targeting for Andrew Yang, because if you work at, you know, any kind of food, any kind of, you know, housekeeping, any kind of service, man, everybody could use that $1,000. And you know what? I love it when people say, oh, well, they're just voting for that $1,000 a month. Well, you know what? If for no other reason, I would probably vote for that $1,000 a month. You know why? Because my family could use it. That's $2,000 in my household every month. And that's $1,000 in every homeless person's pocket. That's $1,000 in every underappreciated teacher's pocket. That's $1,000 in every server's pocket. So, yeah, I would probably vote for that. Just that policy. But the beautiful thing about Andrew Yang is you can't just pick one policy. He's got democracy dollars. He's got, you know, the whole climate change thing that he's put out. I mean, he's got a lot of good ideas.
Reassessing our education. I mean, you don't have to agree with everything, and nobody's going to agree with everything, but I mean, there's always more than enough if somebody gives themselves an honest chance to dig in and going on with these policies he's got, man. It's just, and for somebody to lay it all out there so that, politicians don't do that. They don't want their plans picked apart. Andrew welcomes that. He says, bring it on. He puts it all out there for everybody to see. And that is so refreshing. It's like such a huge change. A lot of people don't even know what to do with that kind of, what even to think about that at first. And it kind of, they're like, whoa, value to it for real. You know what I mean? Wow. I mean, honestly, I can't even, it's still even hard for me to believe to this day, even though I've been with him, that I even have this opportunity. I'm so grateful that he decided to run, and he's doing this the way that he has been going out fighting dirty, slinging mud, nothing like that. He's just going out, presenting the facts, letting you deal with it the way you want to deal with it, and moves on from there. And where we're at, man. The mainstream media and the corporate overlords are shaking in their boots, bro. You can see it. Just by them suppressing them the ways they're spent, and they have every right to be scared. They dang well should be.
That's because they see their power structure going away. If Andrew Yang gets elected, their power structure is gone. And that, for somebody who has been, they've literally made their lives off of doing shit like that. And when somebody like Andrew Yang comes along and threatens that power structure, it actually worries me a little bit, because that's why I always try to stay on point, when I'm at these events and stuff, because man, bruh,
I know exactly what you're saying. I don't even have to say it.
You already know.
No. Yeah. We don't need another Kennedy kind of situation for sure at all. And that's kind of real. That is not, that you're not just speculating, kind of a real thing. I totally get it. Oh man, this such an awakening, man. To actually understand what's going on, why we've been struggling for so long, has been just like a gift I don't even know how to return. Just this opportunity, really, it's mind blowing, man. It really is. Even now, even though I'm up here knowing what I people, it's the best time I've ever had in my life, dude. I've never, after I heard him, and then I got on here on Twitter, and every, without exception, was just showing all kinds of yang dang love and accepting everyone, just for who they are and what they are. It gave me a new lease on life, period. And I mean, I'm extremely grateful for it. But we all got to be real with ourselves. The only people have that are having their power structure threatened like this is to try and convince us that we've already lost. Because believe it or not, human history is behind us. I won't go into it too deeply unless you're welcome to, but if you look up in any history book or do a quick Google search, and if you know what the 3.5% rule is, and you know what a movement is, what makes it a movement, all these human first values that are put together here to create the world that we want, that we can see at the end of his description there, because it's a set of values and not just one, you can call that a movement real easily, because it is. There's even a unifying literary document, is War on Normal People, which is another key thing in any real movement documentation, whether it's local press or like even the Declaration of Independence or anything like that. But anytime the 3.5 population is motivated by a movement, anytime in recorded history, it's always won, or the government that opposed it. All we have to do is keep doing everything we can like we've been doing, and we win, guys. Don't let these guys convince us we lost just because they're in the polls or not covering them on the media. That should be proof in the pudding right there. That should be letting you know that we're on the right track, because they're scared, man. They are. And they need to be, because they're about to get reckoned with, huh?
That's a pretty incredible stat that you just threw out there, that 3.5%. And I see it, man. And it's growing even more because more and more people are starting to find out about this Andrew Yang cat, and they're starting to do their research on him.
It's about to get exponential.
I'm telling you. And you know what? You are so right. And I'm telling you right now, DNC, my gosh, I hope you are listening. This shit that y'all are pulling, it is not going to matter because I promise you the Yang Gang is going to show the fuck out when it comes to election day because ain't none of us staying home from the polls. I promise you that. Man, you would have to absolutely cut our legs out from underneath us for us not to show up at the polls. And then y'all are going to call it we did something. Somebody got hacked or something because there ain't no way in hell Andrew Yang could win. I already hear the excuses. But I'm calling it right now, DNC. Y'all better, I'm telling you, if y'all screw him out of the nomination, I pray to God he goes third party and runs as an independent because I promise you he will sweep it.
You're not even kidding. Can you imagine the body count of the uprising and protesting that would be going on? Because they underestimate them at their own peril, for real. Because the Yang Gang is our strengths are deep and wide, brother. We're nationwide, over the place. They ain't even trying to put a head count on us because they know better. You know what I mean? All these polls that come out that don't only list them once or don't even list them as an option at all, so that when somebody says I would vote for Andrew Yang, that he gets classified as other, and other candidates are victim to also gets done the same way. And Marianne Williamson gets done the same way. But when they do that and they classify him as other, that means he can't qualify on that call. And they think we're not seeing that. And I'm here to tell you, Yang Gang are some of the most brightest people in this country. And everything, DNC, don't even try. You need to give it up and just let the man do what he's going to do.
That's right. And it's, you know what? It's not just here in the United States, though. The Yang Gang is worldwide, and when I say worldwide, I mean in every country, because we all see how this could help everybody. If the United States does it and becomes the standard for this, man, it would literally change the world. Society would change. Literally advance of the civilization, and they don't want that. They want us to be able to be controlled. And if they can control the masses, then they know that they can stay in power and do whatever the fuck they want to do. But the problem is, people are waking up.
Mm-hmm. The whole world's waking up right now. I've heard from so many people all over the globe, man, that they're watching us right now, and they know if we can do this, then the entire ball. Okay, it's straight up. His policies, even just like 6 months in, 8 months in after Rogan, it's reached all the way to Hong Kong, Australia. You know, you saw the UVI marches out in Europe. Okay, I mean, this man affects on the entire world. To sit here and have the DNC and the media try to say he's that 3-4% ludicrous, man. It's just not even believable. It's so out of whack. You know what I mean? Because this humanity first has penetrated every corner of the globe, whether they like it or not. And they're just waiting on us to push it on through and make it a reality, so that they can go everywhere. I mean, honestly, you've got folks in South Korean YouTube channels, their economics channels, talking about the fourth devolution, man. You've got folks, world leaders talking like Andrew Yang now. It's not even a joke. Okay, this is going to happen, and we're going to be the ones to push it over the finish line. That's going to be something. Going to be the proudest moment of my life when we get that man elected. I know we're not supposed to be very prideful, but that's something I'm going to be proud of, beyond a shadow of a doubt. No matter what the result is, that I did everything in my power to make that stuff happen. You know what I mean? Wow.
And I want to thank you for coming on the Broke Folk Vote podcast, and thank you for your efforts out there in Iowa, because they are so important. and everything that you are doing out there is so vital. And we salute you here at this channel, and we appreciate the work that y'all are doing out there. And we're getting it here in New Hampshire, man. We got to be everywhere.
I know that. I see y'all all over the place, man. I just want to let you know. I mean, other creators are a bunch of the triggers that made me jump up here. So give yourself a little credit for that, man, because if it hadn't been for you guys up here, you know what I mean?
We appreciate that sentiment so very much. And I want to close and ask you if you could tell the Yang Gang one thing right now, what would it be?
If you can find 15, 30, an hour, even a couple in your week, you need to use it. Okay, you need to be phone banking, text banking, canvassing. If you're not in an early state with the campaign, and they have ways for you to be effective in early states. I have seen so many people all over Twitter and Facebook are like, I wish I could do something to help, but I'm in the wrong state. I'm like, guys, you have the ability to make a difference. Contact with another person is way more powerful than your dollars, and that's straight up fact. Like Andrew was saying in one of his recent things, you can get somebody to look at him and then make their own decisions, because they're all going to come to the same conclusions we all did. That's worth $250 to the campaign every time you flip them. Okay, so get out there, do the things you can do. Don't overextend yourself. Don't hurt your situation. But you can find a little time here or there, campaign, and help us make this stuff happen.
Is there any way that if somebody's watching right now and is there any way that they can donate to you somehow?
Yeah, they can reach out to me on Twitter. I have Venmo, I have PayPal, and so I can make it real easy. I appreciate it, and I look at it, and the people that have done that for me in the past, they view it as an investment. I don't donation in any ways. I didn't come up here without a plan. I can make my own money and whatnot, but it's always nice when I can use all my available time for what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And we will make sure that we link your Twitter account and everything so that people can get in touch with you and hopefully
send over any of that information you want, man. So the Twitter account and any of the other stuff, that's not sensitive. I give it out freely. So.
All right. So what we'll do, Yang Gang, is if you click the drop-down description box right here, you will see his donation links. And if y'all can donate, please do that. Help him use his time yanging people, because that's the most important thing that we can do. And you're right. It is an investment, man. When it's such a blessing to us when we know that a donation is coming in for our channel, because that allows us to go keep doing what we're doing and keep getting out there. We're turning every one of those dollars into New Hampshire voters, and you're turning every one of those dollars into Iowa voters. So we thank you so much, Michael, for being on here. We appreciate you. Yang Gang, if y'all love this, give it a like, share, subscribe, and y'all donate to Michael if you can. We appreciate you so very much, Michael. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.